Today I want to go over the draft from Game 1 of the D plus Kia KDF series a couple days ago. I think this was a really interesting draft where KDF won pretty hard, and it showed in the game. When you have scaling advantages and you have better themes and better identity within your comp, you have a better chance of winning the game. And they had that, and it was a banger game, but they pulled it out. So going through the bans real quick, D plus with Viego, Hui, and Corky, really fine. All three of those champs are really, really good, so no problem with any of those bans. And then the KDF bans, Nautilus, Rumble, and Maokai. Nautilus is just kind of meh. I don't think he's really ban worthy or pick worthy. He's just kind of there. But really, of the 6 bans, that's really the only questionable one. Now, D plus Kia already make a mistake of first picking Vi, so I don't think this champion is very good. In competitive, again, she's too easily counterable, like I've said before, and she does not scale well at all. So I know KDF is going to pick Morgana to counter her at some point in this draft. I'm just going to go ahead and pause really quick. KDF do end up picking Morgana to counter her, which is really, really good. And this is the reason why Vi is not good. As an early pick, as an early game jungler, she's completely countered by literally one ability. One button press and the champion is useless. You know, most of the time when Vi ults, even if they kill the person she's ulting, she's still stuck in the middle of the enemy team and is probably just going to get one shot and die, unless her team is ridiculously far ahead. And Morgana makes it to where her one point of strength, you know, people pick Vi as a strong early mid-game jungler with point-and-click CC. That's why they pick her, point-and-click CC. And Black Shield literally negates the entire thing. Obviously, Morgana hasn't even been picked yet, but I know that she will be. Coming in on 1-2 from KDF is Tristana and Ezreal, 2 champions that are really good into Vi. Why? 1, they're long range. 2, they're mobile. Both of them shouldn't even really be in range of Vi, and both of them can avoid the ultimate to some extent. Tristana can buffer it as far as I know, and Ezreal can E away while Vi is ulting him to really draw her into the enemy team. So this is a really good rotation from KDF. They're also on theme with each other. They scale really well. They're really long range, and you can already tell that KDF is ahead because of those things. If D plus Kia continues along the same line as Vi, they're going to be full early, full mid game, short range, kind of just face roll, and playing that kind of style comp into Ezreal Tristana is a complete death sentence. So they're going to need to kind of shift gears away from the Vi theme and go more toward range and non-commit. The Vi is going to be kind of left hanging and a bit useless, but that's just kind of the consequence of picking the champion so early. So going to continue on here. And so I just really like KDF's answer to the Vi, and especially considering they pick Morgana, I'm assuming, on R3 here. But the Zeri and Talia coming in on second rotation for D+, is kind of what I was saying, going away from the Vi line and going more into scaling, teamfight, range, and there is Morgana on R3. So the D+ did do what I said, going away from the Vi angle and more into kind of trying to match the KDF theme. But the problem is you've still picked Vi, and now your own comp is off theme, and now Vi is going to be completely useless into these 3 champions picked. Black Shield is going to be absolutely huge into Vi ultimate and Talia knockback. So KDF is hugely ahead through the first phase here. They have longer range, they have better scaling, they have more mobility, and just completely theme countering the Vi, making the champion utterly useless. Morgana is just 1000% a better champion, especially in the jungle. As soon as you get 3 points into W as Morgana, you're clearing insanely fast. You know, I got comments on my short I did about Morgana countering Vi, and people are in here saying it's a bad take, saying like, oh, she's not as strong early, or she can't gank. Like, okay, in competitive, all the Morgana should be doing is permafarming camps. The second she hits one item and level 8 or 9, she's going to be stronger than the Vi. Again, her Black Shield is the complete counter to the champion, making Vi completely useless. If you think Morgana into Vi is a bad matchup, you're delusional, and this is a really fantastic pick from KDF. I want to say the first instance we saw of this counter pick was Spica in NA. I'm not sure what else or who else has played it in the world, but it's obviously successful. From the 2 times I've seen this matchup, the Morgana's 2-0, and the Vi looks like a minion. So to anyone who thinks that That's a bad take. Morgana into Vi. Yeah, you're bronze. Anyways, continuing on, I'm going to fast forward a little bit here so we can get through the second ban phase. Renekton ban is really, really bad because Renekton's a useless champion, and with the champions that you already have picked on KDF, if they picked Renekton, you'd be clapping your hands and really happy about that. So I don't like the Renekton ban. Leona ban is like whatever, I guess. It doesn't really match with the KDF's themes of, like kite back, mobility, range, scaling. So the Leona ban is a little bit strange. The Gnar ban as well is just really strange to me. The champion's just bad. And that's really just the bottom line there. I don't really understand any of these bans that are happening now. I'm going to fast forward a bit more. And that's a K'Sante ban. And wow, Skarner has actually made it this far in the draft. Absolutely unbelievable. He made it through all 10 bans to R4. Really, really great pickup for KDF. And now they've fixed their frontline problem and engage problem. And it's just looking pretty free for KDF right now. D plus are going to match Lulu with Zeri, which is a very, very strong combo. And then they're going to pick Gragas into the Skarner, presumably to match tanks. If you go damage Gragas rather into Skarner, it's not going to look too great for you. Skarner's just super broken champion right now. So looking at D plus's overall comp, the Gragas is just kind of there, and the Vi is going to be useless. The other three match pretty well with scaling teamfight. It's not like the Gragas is bad, but it doesn't do a whole lot. It's just kind of there. If you really wanted to match tanks, they would just pick Ornn or Malphite because they have double ADC, which would have been really, really good for them. But is what it is. The Gragas is, acceptable. It's not great. It's not bad. But looking at KDF's comp overall, with the exception of the Rel pick on R5, which is absolutely atrocious. I don't know why they did that. They should have just picked either another frontline tank engage or an enchanter, like a Karma or something like that. The Rel has absolutely no place in this comp. I don't know why they picked it. But outside of that, their draft is really, really, really good. They have long range, they have great scaling, they have great frontline. They have pretty much everything you'd want from a comp that scales really well. And this game ended up going like 45 or 50 minutes, and it was a really close game. I'm telling you right now, if D plus just had a better jungle champion that scaled better, they would have won the game. And that's the fact of the matter. Just watch the Vi. She didn't do anything past 25 or 30 minutes. And that's the problem with this champion. And really early game to mid game comps and champions in general. If you don't get massively ahead in the early game, you're going to be useless past 25 minutes. Even if you do get super ahead, you're going to get outscaled, and the enemy team is going to be more relevant than you past 25 or 30 minutes. Just look at the champions KDF has here. Morgana, Tristana, Ezreal, Skarner. Once these champions hit 3 items, once the game hits 30 minutes, they're going to start winning these team fights. And at that point, it just comes down to player execution because they're going to have the stronger champions. So I thought this was a really interesting draft and a reason why Vi is not a great champion and why you should really try to steer away from early game and mid game drafting in general. Really great draft from KDF, aside from the last minute Rel pick there, but really solid on theme, trying to do the same theme countering the Vi and the Taliyah to some extent. Just really, really nice, good stuff from them. Thanks for watching. See you next time.